So I went from completely broke to successful in 3 months. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this. In 3 months, I went from making $32,000 a year to making over $32,000 a month. Now this happened a few years ago now, in early 2017. I was stuck in my 9-to-5 job. I absolutely hated it. I was working at one of the big banks in Canada. It was called Scotiabank. If you're Canadian, you're familiar with that. It's like your Wells Fargo or, Chase Bank. And all I was doing every single day was waking up at 6 a.m. I was getting dressed. I was fighting traffic to go to work. And I was just doing that, rinsing and repeating every single day, Monday through Friday, and basically paying off all the money that I made towards my student debt. And it's funny because my first few weeks of getting that job, I was wearing a suit. And I thought to myself, wow, I'm respected now, I'm successful. This is what success feels like. Boy, was I wrong. It was honestly terrible. And after a few months of this job, I was fucking fed up. I was so fed up one night after an experience with my boss, who basically was counting the minutes. He was counting the minutes that I took in the bathroom, right? It's honestly ridiculous. I have another video on this on my channel actually. But one night I was fed up. I came home and I sat down in front of my computer, having no other choice. I went on YouTube and I typed in how to make money online. And then I typed in how to start an online business. I would spend hours and hours watching these videos of all these people who were living their dream lives, who had achieved exactly what I wanted. They were making passive income, they had successful businesses, they managed to quit their 9-to-5 jobs and leave that life completely behind and replace it with a life that's full of adventure, a life that's interesting, a life of abundance and success. And after seeing enough of these people online doing what I wanted to do, I told myself there's no reason that I could not be like them. I told myself at that point, if they could do it, so could I. Now, if you're watching this video right now, I know exactly how you feel. You want success so bad. You want to leave that shitty 9-to-5 job behind so badly, and you want to do it as fast as possible. And so that's why through my own journey, through my own story, I'm going to give you examples and a roadmap so that you can go and also become successful as fast as possible, so that you can shortcut your way to success, so you can shortcut your way to your dreams. I assure you, especially if you're broke right now, if you're not in the financial situation that you want to be in, I assure you that this will be the most important video that you watch this month and most likely this year. So now let's rewind a little bit, even before I got into online business. The very first thing that I started doing, and this is step one of becoming successful, at least in my book, I started to read books. Now before you leave this video, trust me, I did not read any books before. Maybe when I was a kid, I would read some, fiction books that they made me read at school. And so I kind of never picked up any other books other than college textbooks, basically between the ages of like 14, 15, all the way up to 20. And so I kind of realized that I'm like, hey, maybe this is why I'm not successful. Maybe this is why I'm stuck living in a situation that I don't want to be in, right? I can read, I know English, so why am I not reading books? Why am I not studying successful people? And so that was exactly where I started. I started to read books. The first book that I read was called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And that book changed my life. And when I first saw the title, I honestly had no idea what it was talking about. Rich Dad, Poor Dad was intriguing. And so when I started to read this book, slowly I started to piece together this whole lie that I've been told, that I've been manipulated by my whole entire life. This lie that put me $40,000 in college debt. This lie that is putting so many other people in student debt, that has put so many other students in crazy student debt. Right now we have such crazy student debt, it's honestly unbelievable, and I'm trying to do my best to fight that, to teach you how to actually achieve freedom, how to live a good life. In Rich Dad, Poor Dad, I learned that no matter if you're making 6 figures per year, which obviously in our society is like, whoa, 6 figures per year, you're successful, you're pretty much wealthy and rich, right? I learned from Rich Dad, Poor Dad that 6 figures per year, 200K per year, 400K per year, even if you're a CEO and you make, let's say, $500,000 per year, you're still poor because you're time poor. Because most likely if you're a CEO, you have an enormous time responsibility. You have to, put in those hours. You're still selling your time for money. And I learned in Rich Dad, Poor Dad that as long as you're selling your time for money, you're gonna be broke forever. And then I also read a quote by Warren Buffett, the most successful investor of all time. And he said, if you don't learn how to make money in your sleep, you're gonna be poor forever. So that first book really unfolded kind of the whole 9-to-5 thing to me and made me realize that, hey, I shouldn't be climbing up the corporate ladder. I shouldn't be going to school. What I was taught by society and by family was wrong. Then I picked up a book called The Millionaire Fastlane. This one was written by DeMarco. And honestly, I was hooked by the title. I'm like, The Millionaire Fastlane, this book's gonna show me the fast lane of the millions, right? And so obviously I knew it wasn't that easy, but I'm like, hey, you know what? If I learn a thing or two from this book, it's gonna be good. And that book blew my mind. today I can tell you that that is in my top 3 books that I've ever read in my entire life. And that's saying a lot. I've read thousands of books at this point. I read over 200 books per year. I'm very lucky to be a fast reader. But in the Millionaire Fastlane, I learned about the whole 9-to-5 scam even more. And I learned about, like the lie of the power of compound interest, 401ks, saving for retirement. I learned that all of this is garbage. Instead, you can just solve all of your problems. You can build a life of abundance if you build a business. Focus on building a business that provides value to other people. The book just made it very clear that if I was going to follow what everybody else was doing, what all the 9-to-5 traffic fighters were doing, I was basically going to become like another 9-to-5 traffic fighter. And when I was lying on my deathbed, I would look back and my life would have just been that, working a 9-to-5, working a shitty job that I hated just for this illusion of success. So as I read more and more of these books, I was hooked. And then I read Think and Grow Rich, I read The Secret, I read The 4-Hour Workweek. I basically read every single book on the subject of money and entrepreneurship that I could find. Now, all this was incredibly important because as I was reading these books, early on in my entrepreneurial career, I could feel my mindset and my beliefs changing. In one of the books that I had read at the time, and it was The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey, it was a fantastic book. He said, if you want small changes in your life, work on your attitude. But if you want big changes in your life, work on your paradigms. Paradigms, that's what I realized was the key. I had to change my paradigms. And what paradigms are, basically, to put it simply, is beliefs. Change your beliefs, change your life. And that's what all of those books did for me. And that's what all of those books will do for you as well. If you start reading these books and you start feeding your mind with positivity and with success, and not just all this in the clouds positivity, but actual knowledge, actual steps that has made more millionaires many times over than anything else, then how can you not succeed? How can you fail? I went and I changed my beliefs from I want to be rich to I am rich. From I want to be successful to I am successful. From I don't know if all this will work to I am destined for success and for wealth and for abundance. And through all this, my life started to change, and change in a big way. Now, step 2 of all this was actually figuring out the business, right? So I was kind of stuck in this phase. I was still working my 9-to-5 job at the bank, and I was trying to figure out okay, what business am I going to start? I'm not going to start the next Uber, the next Airbnb. In college, I was taught that was kind of the way that you succeed. Either you get a college degree, or you go on to start the next Uber, the next Airbnb. I'm not Bill Gates, I'm not Steve Jobs. I'm not going to do the next Apple. I'm not going to create the next Apple, right? So what am I going to do? Now, through those nights, remember when I was typing how to make money online on YouTube and on the internet, I started to find out about different kinds of businesses. The first business that I found out, and this is while I was working at the bank, was social media marketing. I was going to have local small businesses hire me to run their Facebook ads. This is a business that, is very, very popular nowadays. It's a business that was actually popularized a few years ago. A lot of businesses had no idea how to run their Facebook ads, or even, they didn't even know what Facebook ads was. And so I took a basic course and I started that. And my first niche that I picked was lawyers. But that very quickly kind of tumbled on itself. It failed because even though I landed a few clients, I slowly started to realize that this business had a cap on it. And even if I did land like 8 to 10 clients, which by the way is an enormous amount of work, imagine, how much work it takes to get one client, right? Like doing cold calling and cold outreach. And then I'm like, wait, I have to do this 8 to 10 times. And even then, if I was charging $1,000 per client a month, that only brings up my income to about 8 to 10K per month, which is basically 100K per year. And so I realized that, okay, this business is definitely not going to allow me to live a passive income lifestyle. And also, I'd basically be at the mercy of my clients. They could cancel anytime, and they'd be hounding me all the time, obviously, because I'm still, spending their ad budgets and, I'm spending their advertising dollars, right? Obviously, when you're spending someone else's money, they're going to care a lot about what you do all the time. So that business went right back where it came from. Next, I tried a business called affiliate marketing. And what affiliate marketing is basically promoting other people's products and offers. So you can go on a website, for example, clickbank.com. It's the largest affiliate marketplace. You can go on there. There's a ton of products that are available for you to actually go and promote, and then they pay you a commission. And at first, it sounded like a very interesting business model that I could actually do, and I could actually make money, and I wouldn't be at the mercy of clients or anything like that. I wouldn't have to cold call anybody. I just have to learn how to, get the customers for the products. And so I started to really watch YouTube videos on this. I started to research the internet, and very quickly I realized, after about a week of watching videos on affiliate marketing, I realized that the only things that these people were teaching me were to go and click on their affiliate links in their YouTube videos or on their websites. And so that business also failed and went right back where it came from. No affiliate marketing. So that lasted about a week. After that, I tried real estate. I tried stocks. I started to read all the best stock books like The Intelligent Investor, which is a famous one. Fantastic book, by the way, if you ever get into that world. But also very quickly, I realized that I needed a ton of money to actually make any kind of good, decent money especially 6 figures in profit with stocks. And with real estate especially, it's so competitive, and I need a lot of money for the down payments for the houses. I also realized that all this 0 down payment buying houses, when it's too good to be true, probably is too good to be true. With stocks, I also realized after reading The Intelligent Investor that it was incredibly difficult to beat the market, and the market rises at about 7 to 8% per year annually. And so I'm like, okay, 7 to 8%, if I invest 1 million, it's already incredibly difficult to get back 1,070,000. But that's even if I had $1 million to invest. Back then I had literally $3. Then I found out about e-commerce, specifically about starting an Amazon FBA business. I also started watching about Shopify, but the one that I decided to start with was specifically Amazon FBA. And it all sounded very realistic to me, although it did sound a little bit too good to be true at first, because I'm like, wait, it can't be this easy. You just put in a little bit of money, and then you sell products online on Amazon, and suddenly you're making 20, 30K a month. But after I started to watch more of these videos and I started to do more of my own research, I realized that this was a real business, and it was the same thing as me going out and opening my own retail shop as, if it was like the 1960s. Except now I'm just doing the 21st century version. I'm selling my products online and I'm building a brand out of it. And this business was the only one that I found where I could start with a relatively small starting budget, about $1,000, to $2,000, and I could put that in and potentially start making 5K per month, 10K per month, 20K, even 30K per month in some instances as I was seeing online. And the whole thing seemed very real to me. I was selling real product, I was ordering real inventory, and I had full control over it. If my products weren't selling, that's up to me. I could make my listing better on Amazon, I could rank it better, things like that. Not like stocks where you have literally 0 control, or real estate, which is basically at the mercy of the market. So I quickly took action and I launched my first product, which was teeth whitening charcoal. However, that was an epic, monstrous fail. What happened was I'm actually Canadian, and so I decided to launch on Amazon Canada, because I thought that Amazon USA is already big, Amazon Canada is the next frontier. And so what I didn't realize was that there were a lot more regulations and things like that than I thought, especially in Canada. And so what happened was when I first branded my product and I ordered it, it got stuck in customs in Canada. And what ended up happening was Health Canada just destroyed my entire inventory, which is basically like the FDA in America. And they said, you need to have French on your label or something like that. And so I took that as a lesson, and I said, I'm not going to sell on Amazon Canada anymore. Then I launched my second product, and this one was something called a barn door roller guide. Honestly, I had no idea what this was. I just found it using the product research techniques that I was learning at the time. And so with this product, what happened was that there simply wasn't enough demand for it. It's like basically like a roller for barn doors. I think at the time they were trending. I think they're still trending, but it was just like an accessory for the barn door. And so what happened with this product was that I launched it, and then it just wasn't selling very quickly. But what I realized was that if I just left it on there, I still got a few sales every day. So I got like 2 to 3 sales per day, and eventually I sold out my stock and made back my money, even with a little bit of profit. And then I launched my third product, and this one was a massive success. And this product was a jade roller. And yes, I launched the jade roller before it exploded. I had no idea what the product was. Actually, it's funny because my mother, she has, I guess, a good intuition, a good sense, and she told me that, the jade roller, great idea, because I had shown her a list of products that I was thinking of doing, and she just said the jade roller is going to be a great product for you, so just launch that one and watch it's going to succeed. And so that's exactly what happened. Shortly after launching the product, it very quickly started to make 32K per month in sales. And I was on top of the world. I was like, I am finally successful. I'd already quit my 9-to-5 job by then. I was actually cleaning windows on the side. Through my failed businesses, I was like, you know what? If I clean windows, I can make money this way to fund my Amazon business. And so that's what I did. I booked a trip to the Bahamas. I was on the beach, and I was like, I'm living the passive income lifestyle. But then after that, what came next? I decided to keep growing my brand, scale to other products. I went from literally stuck to happy and successful in 3 months. Now, I want to mention the importance of writing your goals down every day. Through this journey, I was writing down my goals every single day, and I did what's called begin with the end in mind. I learned that also in one of the books that I was reading. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to start with the end. So what I did was, at the time I was 21, 22, and so I wrote down exactly what my life would be at 25. And then I just reverse engineered from there, and I created goals that basically led me to my dream life. And so I was writing down those goals every single day, every single morning, every single night, as if I had already achieved them now. Write your goals every single day. I cannot stress this enough. Imagine when you're writing your goals, like every single morning and every single night, that they bring you several steps closer to success. Like physically imagine that. Even today, I make it a priority every time I wake up to write down my goals every single day. Now look, I don't know how long it's going to take you to become successful. I'm not a fortune teller, but I can give you some absolutely golden advice. My first piece of advice is start to take responsibility for everything in your life, every single thing. And you have to conquer the victim mentality. I still see it in people, people that watch my videos. Unfortunately, a lot of people, they just allow the victim mentality to really take over their thoughts and their beliefs. And what that exactly is I am a victim of my circumstances. I am a victim of the world. I'm poor because of everybody else. I'm poor because of the government, because of my president, because of, everything. Amazon's too competitive, Shopify's too competitive, all this stuff. It's the victim mentality, right? If you just went up and took responsibility for everything in your life, where you are today is because of the actions, the decisions that you made before, then you'll see that your life will completely change, and it will change fast. My second piece of advice, this one is golden. Stop hanging out with losers. Stop hanging out with negative people. Really just run an audit of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. And just think about the people. Think about where they're going in life. Where do you see them in 5 years? Where do you see them even next year? And ask yourself, do you really want to associate yourself with these people? So if you don't, cut them out of your life. It's that simple. You want to be successful, cut those people out. Why would you hang out with people that are constantly pulling you down? Now, my third piece of advice is pick one business and stick with that business until you succeed, until you have your first win. Don't focus on anything else. I can tell you, start 10 businesses, but that's not true. Stick to one business until you're making serious income, until you're making great income and you've quit your 9-to-5 job and you have freedom. And once you have that first win, once you have that first profitable business, at that point you can do whatever you want. You can start 3 businesses, 5 businesses. At that point you have freedom and you have something that's working for you even when you're sleeping. Now you might be asking me, all right, Dan, well, what are the best businesses that I can start today in 2020? And I can tell you, there are 3 best businesses, in my opinion, that I would start if I was just starting right now. The first business is Amazon FBA, the second one is Shopify, and the third one is consulting. So I'm not involved with consulting, but I am personally involved with Amazon FBA and Shopify. These are 2 income streams that make up e-commerce. E-commerce is selling products online. Like I said, it was my first successful business that actually allowed me to quit my 9-to-5 job forever. And so the reason why I'm saying these businesses are the best, with Amazon FBA and with Shopify, you can start with a relatively small amount of money and you can really just build something of value. You're selling real products to people, you have total control, and it's not something that requires an enormous amount of time, money, or effort. Also, it helps that right now, we're at the beginning of the e-commerce revolution. Stores like Sears have already gone bankrupt. Tons of stores have gone bankrupt and will continue to go bankrupt in the future because everything is moving online. Forever 21 just went bankrupt too. So the other business that I would recommend is consulting. That's basically social media marketing. However, with consulting, you can go and pick a niche and then figure out how to solve a problem for a specific niche. For example, I help chiropractors get more clients or get more dream clients, right? Because there's clients that are more valuable than others in terms of the services they sign up for. Finally, act as if you are already successful. Act as if you are already a millionaire. Act as if you're already someone who has gone through all those obstacles and who has risen above on the other side. Act as if you're already successful and force reality to catch up with you. I do have 2 amazing videos on both Amazon FBA and Shopify, so you can go and check them out right here. They're honestly amazing and they'll tell you everything you need to know to actually start making money and actually start making sales. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment. I try to respond to every single person. Like the video, click that notification bell. I'll see you soon.